Hi Gemini, this is your March 2015 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, for everyone who have their ascendant, sun or moon in Gemini. What does March 2015 bring for you? Well, let's start with the big news. Saturn, the planet of responsibilities and duties, is turning retrograde and will be moving backwards till August. So it means that we have to revise and to redo and to repeat some and even do furthermore with more effort, with more appliance of will and perseverance and patience, certain responsibilities that we've taken on in the past few months. And for every person, this can be different responsibilities. But now Saturn will really test you if you can stick with those responsibilities, the extra responsibilities and duties that you've received willingly or unwillingly in the past few months. And if you pass the test by August 2015, then you'll see really fantastic results till around November 2015. Really fantastic result of the hard efforts that you put from March till August, of redoing it a few times, because Saturn retrograde requires you to redo something a few times. This is how Saturn retrograde teaches you through repetition and through even being more demanding. Those duties and responsibilities becoming even more demanding from you. And sometimes a person might even feel discouraged during the retrograde period of Saturn, because they feel like, oh, can I really do this? Is it to my strength? Because Saturn becomes much more stronger when it's retrograde. It's much closer to Earth. It's twice as close to Earth than in other, well, not twice, but much closer than in other periods when it's direct. So it's lessons of responsibilities, of patience, of trying over and over, perseverance, not giving up, resilience, become more demanding. But once this Saturn starts moving forwards from August, you see finally the results of a retrograde period become much more satisfying and long-lasting because of the extra effort it required. And in your case, for a lot of Gemini, it might have to do with some responsibilities that you took in relationships, so some testing period that started in relationships, because Saturn has been moving forward in your 7th house of relationships, whether it's business relationships, some business partnerships, some deals, or whether it's personal relationships. So kind of you having to reconfirm the lessons of responsibility and maturity and being more serious in regards to certain relationships and learning the hard testing lessons of Saturn. And how do we learn the lessons of Saturn? By working hard, by being humble, by doing what is socially acceptable, by doing the right thing. If we try to be clever and find some fast door, fast exit, it's not going to work. You have to be really hard working. And it has to do with responsibility, as we said, with contracts, or it can do as well with 6th house matters, because Saturn has also been moving forwards in your 6th house, a little bit in your 6th and a little bit in your 7th house. So it might be some extra responsibilities or new having to reestablish and to really strengthen some new health regimes that you started in the last few months, some new lifestyle regimes, because 6th house rules all the routines and regimes that we have to keep our health. So maybe having to work extra hard to maintain and to prove and basically to integrate them in your life, much more better, because otherwise some health problems can be brought up to the surface more intensely when Saturn is retrograde. Because if you haven't kept up those routines or regimes or extra responsibilities in regards to keeping up your health, they will come to the surface again. So Saturn will be asking you, not directly from March, but from March till August, to make sure that you take care of these things, that you stick to more, healthy lifestyle, healthy regimes, healthy routines, and also 6th house rules, work responsibilities and duties. So some extra duties and work responsibilities, or some testing period if it has started in regards to your work, in regards to your working environment. This can intensify from March to August. But the results of this, if you keep them up, if you work hard, if you go through the daily grind of doing all those responsibilities. The results will be very satisfying, and you'll see them from August to November approximately. Okay, this was a much bigger prediction for not just March, but a few months. And particularly, I just want to say that those of you who are those Gemini, that are early born Gemini, basically born from around the 24th to around the 28th, they will feel Saturn very strongly in March. Other Geminis might feel it later on, but no, those that I mentioned from around the 24th to around the 28th of May, Geminis, and basically those of you who have their ascendant or their moon in Gemini from around 3 till 6 degrees, March is more demanding on you. March is very Saturnian month for you. You're required to be serious, to work hard. You're required to take extra responsibilities. You might feel overwhelmed at moments. Can I do it? You might feel your self-confidence can go a bit down, or self-belief, or ability. You believe whether you can cope with those responsibilities, or those testing times of Saturn can be lowered. But Saturn wants to build patience and hardiness. So that's why Saturn comes around. It makes us tougher. It makes us more realistic. It makes us more mature, more practical. So it requires of us, if you're born around those degrees or those days, to have a very practical, down-to-earth approach. Instead of trying to expand in a big way, just whatever responsibility you have, try to do them to the best of your ability. It's more time of contraction, more time of testing, more time of the things that stay when Saturn is around, the only things that you're really committed to. Things that you are not very committed to, or things that are not committed to you, they can disappear in your life because Saturn has separating influences. So I'm just warning you that certain things can be separated from your life if you're born around those days. But anyway, let's go back to all Geminis. So what is March bringing for all of you Geminis? Well, there is a really powerful trigger in your social houses. There are 4 planets in the fiery signs, which are your social houses, which are your houses of relationships, of communications, contacts with others, socializing. So things will be busy and happening in regards to this matter in a positive way, actually. And particularly the sign Aries is very strongly triggered in a positive way in March, in a manifesting way. And Aries rules your 11th house, Gemini. Especially if your ascendant is in Gemini, you can feel it more strongly. But even your sun, Aries is your 11th house. And the 11th house is the house of friendship, first of all. So this can be a positively manifesting month and very happening month in regards to friendship matters. Maybe some friends you can create new friendships, so you can spend more times with friends, or people that you are like-minded. You might even join some group in March and start, I don't know, maybe go to more social events, maybe go to concerts, where people get together to share ideas, to share like-minded cultural references. You might maybe join a forum, or maybe join some society on the internet. It doesn't have to be you're physically being there, or going to conferences where people get together in a big way. But it's definitely something, or you might be invited to some charity, or you might be invited to a party. If you're someone who is not very sociable overall, you might just notice that now in March, your social contacts increase. And also, it's because these are positive triggers. Your 11th house is triggered with positive manifesting planets. So it can be 11th house rules benefactors. Some of you Gemini might attract a benefactor now in a positive, good way. Someone who is willing to help you. Someone who believes in you, who believes in your skills, who believes and who wants to support you for something. Someone or it might be just that you receive some kind of appreciation from society for something that you've done, maybe some kind of recognition for something that you've worked hard on, and you can receive it now in March, because 11th house rules all those things. It rules honors and titles, appreciation from society, appreciation from peers, appreciation from friends, like others recognize you for something you've done. And for some of you, it might be even some kind of a tangible appreciation, like a award, or like a promotion, or like a tap on the shoulder, or, or some kind of a diploma that you get, something that you worked hard for. 11th house rules gains and rewards of hard work, so they can be a trigger in regards to this. 11th house rules also gains, especially if you have your own business. This is the money that you get, so you can be financially more gainful month for some of you Geminis, and because your 11th house is triggered, or maybe even a bonus. If it's not a business that you have, you might have some bonus that you come a few steps closer towards. And so 11th house is a fantastic house to have triggered with the 3 triggering planet, Jupiter, Mercury, the manifesting planet for good things, and with the Lord of the 11th house, Mars. Gets too astrological. I don't want to get into these kind of things. But definitely, 11th house matters come to the forefront, and they can come to the forefront in a positive way. So friendship, social contact groups, gains, rewards, appreciations in some way from others, just being more socially active. And 11th house, what else does it rule? It rules dreams and wishes. So some of you might be able to come a few steps closer to manifest something in regards to a long-desired dream, a long-desired goal that they've worked towards. Again, as I said, it might even be like a award or diploma, or just getting a door opening that helps them proceed in that direction. So this is what I see for you, Gemini. Sorry. And around the 3rd, at the beginning of March, you might get some good news, because Leo in your 3rd house is being triggered by 2 positive planets again. So some information can come to you, someone can call you, someone can get in touch with you that gives you some piece of information, or some contact that you make, which is beneficial for you. But actually making contacts, expanding your social circle is very beneficial and can be very positive for you now. So make sure, and I think you will be at the right time, at the right place to meet the right type of people now. So thank you very much. There are some stressful days in March, because there is like the square between Uranus and Pluto. So there is like certain stressful energy, but this whole stressful configuration is being eased off by Jupiter, the great benefic, which is sending a really helpful influence. So even if something extreme or surprising happens in March, it's more likely that it has a silver lining, and that you can work through it and solve it out quickly after that. So thank you very much, Gemini.